From the studios in beautiful Oceanport, New Jersey, welcome to the biggest and greatest podcast ever. I'm your host, Ray K.
Hello. Hello.
Hey, I love that riff. I love the ending of that riff. Hey, welcome to another podcast. This is Ray K. I'm going to talk about a couple pretty cool things that are going on. One is this project I'm working on that's starting to really get some legs. It is going to be a public company. We're hoping within the next month, maybe even within a week. But we're moving fast on the paperwork, and through a bunch of serendipity, a lot of good things have happened, particularly over the last 3 weeks that moved this thing really fast. First off, we're going to be proud owner of a drink called Cholesterade, which is a drink that was invented by the person that invented Gatorade, Dr. Robert Cade, C-A-D-E. Dr. Cade invented this, about 20 years ago. My friend, I knew this guy going back 20 years ago, Jim, got the rights to this about 5 years ago. He cleaned it up. He got it, all organic. He also got a couple added flavors to it. We have it in 5,000 stores, including in New Jersey. We're in New Jersey too, and we're ready to really blow, the sales out. Anyway, we got everything geared up. We have the stores. You could buy it on Amazon. You can buy it right from the company. And I have Tiki Barber, who I'm working with on the. He'll be involved as a CEO in the public company. Tiki will be a spokesperson along with his brother Rondé, and we're going to add about, check this out, like 50 sports stars to endorse this product. What it does, it lowers your cholesterol by clinical studies that are showing probably about 20%, I think, within 8 weeks. I just started this about 2 weeks ago, so I'm going to do my test in about 6 more weeks. And it's a fiber-related thing. They have a patent on the way it's. I guess the way it's delivered, there's some kind of process, but it has been lowering cholesterol by 20%, and that's the bad cholesterol. A lot of it is this fiber, fiber-induced products, and it's all natural too. It's vegan free, it's everything you want in the drink. And because of the Gatorade connection and all the sports stars, we're thinking this thing could really take off once these sports guys start coming in and endorsing the product. Plus, cardiovascular disease is a very serious thing, especially amongst African Americans, I found out. So Tiki's going to be a good spokesperson to really start this thing off. And, he's very much behind this thing because of the issues of cholesterol. So, it's going to be exciting. So we're going to combine that with the BFA, it's going to be part of BFA, Big Fat American Media. We have a beautiful logo for it, and we're going to promote it on the radio stations. Our first signal will be a New York signal, and we're going to bring back, Scott Muni from the old days. He passed away, but he has all the Beatles archives. We're going to bring back, with sports guys. We're going to have comedians being guest DJs. We're basically going to knock hard on the door of this industry and shake it up, So we're going to do some things that really haven't been done here until going back to the 70s. So we're going to do all this. We're going to have rock stars as guest DJs. We're going to play like Paul McCartney's full album. There's a lot of things you could do on these high definition 2 radio stations that you can't do on the regular big signal. So you have a lot of freedom, and we're going to have a big audience too because of our sports connections. Because part of our workforce will be working. From the autistic on the autistic spectrum, also special needs, homeless veterans. So we're going to employ some very creative people to do a lot of our web design, to do our social media. They could work out of the home. So and we're going to have. First, we're going to start with 2 or 3 stations. We're going to add up to our goal is to get 25. And each station has major advertising too, so we could run about $8 million worth of advertising on each station. which is a pretty big number, So, we have a couple advertising guys ready to join. So this all starts within like the next 30 days. So I'm going to be quite busy, starting in the year 2020. I mean, it might, I'm also going to be, believe it or not, Ray the King on the air. I'm going to do a little DJing and do some voiceovers. I'm going to try to get myself out in all these markets, because I find it fun. Along with promoting not only cholesterol, but we're going to be able to, promote other products also. And, because we got the power of the mass media, which I'm finding out. Once you have mass media influence, that's like the last step, to, not only fame, but, any products you have. I mean, mass media really is where it's at. President of the United States, the mass media, without that, you may not even get in there, So, I mean, I know you wouldn't get in. So that's how important it is. And I got the top guy, program director, that's going to be running it. I got Tiki as the CEO. I got me. I got a couple other pretty good guys. I got a whole bunch of rock stars lined up that's going to join us. So, I mean, it's going to be a great ride, So this is like the kickoff. I'm just giving you a little bit of a heads up on what's going on. And so stay tuned for this thing, because, we are very excited about it. I haven't been this excited maybe ever, Especially to get a high-profile guy like Tiki Barber, in as a CEO. I mean, it's hard to get that, and all his connections. I mean, that's as big as getting Tiki in, because he knows probably everybody, in the sports world. He could pick up a phone and basically get anybody on the telephone. He's been on TV. He's a great guy too, as I got to know him, from over the past year as we were kind of gearing this up. And so it's going to be good, and we're all excited about it. So just stay tuned. Listen for Ray K on the radio. I'll tell you how to tune into our New York signal, and it's in all new cars. We're going to have our own app, and we're gonna shake it up. So it's going to be quite a bit of fun. So that's kind of what's going on there. Along with our cholesterol. So it's one of the few drinks, if the only drink, that lowers cholesterol. So we got the Gatorade logo that's part of it. So I mean, it's exciting. Okay, now I'm going to give my football thing here. We're week 7. The Packers are, what are they, 6-1 or 7-1? I'm losing track, but whatever it is, it's only one loss. And they are on their way to possibly winning the NFC. Now they're starting the offense is kicking in, and they're starting to score some points, along with the improved defense. They could finish up like 13-3, and then it'd be a cool thing if they face the Patriots, because they're unstoppable. I mean, every year you almost got to put them in a Super Bowl, it seems. So that'll be a classic, if the Pack makes it through. But, it's a long way to go. There's always little upsets that happen in the playoffs, and it's going to be fun. Baseball's over. It was a great year. Congratulations to the Nationals. I did see them play once, so I'm kind of glad they won. And so that's over for 3 months. So that kind of wore me out a little, because my Yankees had a great run, and due to some unfortunate events, injuries. One guy had a domestic dispute. So he couldn't pitch. There are a couple of things, but that's all part of the game. You gotta go in really full out, 100% healthy, and the Nationals pulled it off, winning every game on the road. So that was a pretty cool thing to see. And NBA, I won't get into that till like May. When the playoffs start. I just can't get into the season at this point for some reason. I don't know. I guess I'm just getting over baseball and getting into football, So fall is here. The leaves are turning, a little late turning, by the way. It's a lot of green out there still, which is interesting. But just get that. They're getting those red leaves, those beautiful bright red, and so the next 2 weeks are going to be nice, as far as scenery goes, And I'm going to look forward to it. I'm going to take a lot of pictures, because autumn is a cool thing. Great thing about the Northeast is you get all the seasons. I know Florida brags about all the great weather all the time, but hey, you don't get the change of the leaves. You don't get you don't get all this kind of stuff. That whole mystical feeling of fall. There's something about it. So, and the weather's perfect, crisp, 58 degrees. Hasn't been that windy, so I mean it's been really nice weather. So it's been all good. So we will keep you on top of everything. Quick word association. Okay, ready? Pen. Penn. I think of William Penn, and I think of signing the Declaration of Independence with Penn. And the greatest handwriting of all time was John Hancock. And if you ever want to check a guy out with great handwriting, check out the Declaration of Independence and check that guy's handwriting out. It's kind of scary. All right, another word. I'm going to go 9. Number 9. 9 is I think a revolution. Number 9. Number 9. Number 9. That kind of a weird song, which was kind of a pretty cool song if you really hear it. 9. I think of my birthday. I was born on the 9th, so that's a big day. It's like the top number of all the numbers. Then you go back to 1. So, 9's a pretty cool number. So it's I don't know. It even sounds good. 9. So that's 9. And one more word association. Let me look around the room and. All right, Pebble. What do I think when I hear Pebble? It's not a pebble, but it's a little piece of M&M that looks like a pebble. That reminded me of Pebble. Pebble, I think of skipping rocks, along the river, and then it's that ripple effect. And I hear once you skip a rock, and then that ripple goes and keeps going, and then it's like 100 ripples. I hear it never stops. It goes all the way across the river, and then the vibe keeps going across the universe. So I hope that's true because that sounds so cool. If that is the case, so I mean, when I think of Pebble, I definitely think of skipping stones, and because usually you got to get those nice skinny type pebbles. You don't want any big rocks when you skip. You need that little that thing that cups perfectly within your thumb and your forefinger, and then you kind of sidearm it. You got to get that little sidearm thing going. You got to have a little velocity on it, so you got to really whip it. And then if you get like 5 or 6 skips, that's good. Sometimes you get one where it skips fast and you get like 8 or 9. Sometimes I get like 1 or 2, but you get lucky sometimes. So skipping is I think it's a universal thing. They've probably been doing that since like the year 5000 BC. Because anybody could skip stones. So I wonder what the record is. By the way, it's probably, I don't know. I'm gonna guess. You could check it out on Google, but I'm gonna guess it's probably a lot. I'm gonna guess like 48 skips on a pebble on the river. So check it out, see if I'm right. But anyway, this is sort of a rendition of Catching Up with Ray because a lot of great things are going on. I wanted to fill you in on that thing, and we'll be back to you. Enjoy the fall, and we'll catch you next time.